Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Harika. So in previous video, I have explained you what is an API, why we are using API in an automation, how effectively it can turn around and helps us to bring out the solution in less time. So and also I have given you a brief how API would work and what is the request and response. And in this video, we are going to see at the practical way of using an API. So for that, I'm going into the studio. So in studio, in order to access the APIs, we should have a package installed in our machines. So go to manage packages. Here, you can just type for UiPath dot web API dot activities. So if you just observe in previous video, I have explained you what are the different formats that an API can respond with. Those can be JSON, REST, SOAP, and XML, right? So if you just observe it, it will be supporting all these different types of formats, and just you have to install this package into your machine. This is a prerequisite before you actually wanted to do a API automation. So once that's done, go to activities, and here if you just see not the Salesforce, okay, just type in for HTTP request. Yes, here as I said you, this whatever the REST and the SOAP that we are doing is an web API, right? So I'm going to use HTTP request. So just pull in this HTTP request into your sequence, and then that would work. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do to explain this, how you have to give the inputs and outputs and how you can access and tune the output based on your requirement, I'm going to take a sequence which is API calls demo. So in this sequence, I'm going to pull this activity HTTP request. Okay. So once after I pull the activity, I have my HTTP request wizard open. So as I already said you, an API is nothing but you are sending, an application is sending a request to the server over an endpoint or an URL, right? So you have to provide here an endpoint. So to make you understand the API more clearly, I just used one particular website, which is request.in, which is request and response.in. So here you will be having different methods and what will be the endpoints that you have to actually access, and what would be the response of that particular endpoint. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, first of all, I am going to use this particular endpoint in my example. So just copy the endpoint, just provide the endpoint here. Okay, so once after that's done, we have spoken about different types of methods that we have, right? Which is get, post, push, put, delete, and all these different types of methods. So I'm going to use this is a get method, right? This request is for get method. You can find it over here. So this is a get method, and if you see, we have something like a parameters. So you can add the parameters if the endpoint is in need of any parameters. So for that, that's kind of little bit another next level of requesting. So we will see these things later, but let's understand the basic version. So I have given the endpoint and it's a get method. So just click on preview. You can see that the status code of this is 200. That means it's a success, right? So and then you will be seeing the output of it. So let me just show you here. The response should be 200 and this should be the output. So this is how the preview has shown us, right? Let me go to wizard. This is what the preview has shown us. So just click on OK, and here go to the properties, and you have to actually fetch the output in a particular variable. So the result is something, just give a result, which is get result, and also the status code. Okay, I wanted to check the status code. Okay, Just come here and see the variables that got created. It's an status code is of type integer. So once that's done, the next step is just looking at the output, how the output is coming and how we can actually use this in the next steps. Okay, so let's take a log message, or you can go for a message box. Let me go for a message box. Okay, and what I'm going to do here, I would be providing in the status code. It's an integer, right? Int status code, and I'm gonna take a log message for my output, which is a result. Okay, so get result, right? My output variable get result. Okay, so this is it. Let me debug this file. So the status code is 200, which is correct, and then we got the response of this. So if you just observe here, the response of this is not a string, but it's of a different format, right? So this is particularly, if you say the output or type is string, but in order to access this, we have to actually pass this and deserialize this. Okay, so how we can actually deserialize, how we can actually fetch the values is the concept that I'm going to cover in the next video. So in that, based on the different types of the output that we get from the HTTP request activity, you have to use a different activities like deserialized JSON or deserialized JSON array, and you have to tune the output as per your requirement. So that topic I'm going to cover in the next video. So in this video, we have seen how we can use a get request. So like that, we can check for one more thing, which is, let me go over here. And what I'm going to do, let's go for one more request type. Okay, let's say here what you have to exactly observe here is, so let's say if I'm using a particular post request. So why post request is used? I told you the get request is used to fetch the values from a particular endpoint. So this will be giving you the values that are there in this particular URL. In the same way, post request is used, post method is used to post, that means to create value in that particular URL. So let me copy the URL. Okay, and then go to the wizard. Okay, fine. So I'm going to show you here how we have to actually see here. If you just observe, this is the body, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this body as a parameter. Okay, so let me take this values. So here you will be seeing how we can actually use the parameters. So go over here, you have something called add parameter. Okay, just provide in the name and it will be get or post, and you have to provide a value. So let's say Harika is the username that I have to create, and what is a one more value? Job. Okay, so just give one more parameter, which is leader. Okay, so previously we have seen whatever is the output that is there against this particular URL, we have fetched the same output. But here we are going to create a particular record or a particular user. Okay, so come over here and then change the method to post and just do the preview. Can find these things got created, right? So, and also if you see the request status code 201, 201 means it's a status code that shows the user or a particular entry that got created. It shows that a entry is created. 200 means if the particular request is successful. So you have to just make sure this can be used for validation purpose. So just few particular status codes are important to remember. So this is perfect. We have seen the preview and just say okay. And now what I'm going to do, Okay, where is my wizard? Did I create in the same? Let me check here. Parameters. No. Okay, let me pull one more request because it didn't get saved. Okay, let me take quickly the endpoint URL. Okay, and then it's a post, and then give the parameters. Add parameter name. I'm gonna add one more parameter, which is I believe job. Preview. Okay, this is perfect. Just say okay. Yes, this will be saving here, right? And then now I am going to give the result, post result, and the status code here, post status code. Okay, now I'm gonna take a log message, and here I'm gonna see both of the outputs. Okay, post result, and then space, and then post status code. Okay, just check what it is actually coming. Okay, this is an integer, right? So just convert to string because we're concatenating both of them, right? So now just debug and see. The first status code is 200, that means success. And if you see, the second status code is 201, right? So this is 201, and whatever the entries that we have created that have got populated here, right? So this is how actually we can do API calls, and based on the parameters we can actually pass the parameters. So if there is any existing record already that we have created, so in order to update it, we can just use this particular request. So in the same way, just add in the parameters, and then that would be done. Patch is used to, it is also used to update, and delete is used to delete the existing records. So here if you see, the response code is changed into 204, which is a delete status code. Okay, so this is for successful login, which is 200, and for unsuccessful login 400. 400 means it's an unsuccessful. Okay, and then just that's it, not many. So this is how we can actually do. But here in the get, if you just see, we have different types of responses. So this is of the type list, and this is for the single user. So going forward, I'm going to show you how we can use this output. So this will be basically a string output, right? So to use every part of the output, we have to actually pass it into deserialized JSON and deserialized JSON array, and then we can fetch the values from a even from a complex data, just like this, because it's a combination of array and a JSON, right? So I'm going to show you how we can use that, and that will be helpful for you for understanding the things, or applying the things in a complex scenarios. And also after this basics, I'm gonna take up orchestrator APIs and how we can actually use Swagger and also Postman for utilizing the orchestrator APIs and to perform API calls. So so that's why these basics are really very important. Do take this particular, I'm gonna share this URL for you, and you can just in the description, you can just take it out and use this particular activities in order to recreate the workflows and get more hands-on on it. If you have find this video useful, please do like the video, and also to not miss the future videos, which are really very important. Do subscribe to my channel so that you get the notification as soon as I release the videos. Thank you so much for watching.